Good evening, Bahamas. It's Tuesday, April 16th, 2013, and this is NB12. Coming up tonight in news, overall crime is down, according to the Commissioner of Police, who is defending the validity of his statistics. Two arraigned for last week's shooting of a top police officer, when police say they'll be ready to crack down on web shops, how the Prime Minister feels about web shop bosses heading to the Court of Appeal, and the failure of government's mortgage relief plan. And a media mogul appears before a Supreme Court justice. We'll tell you why. We have those stories and much more coming up tonight. I'm Christina McNeil, and NB12 starts right now. Following months of questions over the accuracy of crime statistics, Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade is responding to his critics. Greenslade, who today released crime figures for the first 3.5 months of the year, said it is disrespectful for people in various sectors of society to suggest those numbers are anything but accurate. He told reporters he has no intention of being disrespectful, but suggested that people in different professions continue to do what they're good at and allow him to do the same. Vonique Toot reports.
The latest figures released by the Royal Bahamas Police Force show that serious crimes are down by 13%, while murders plunged 26%. However, armed robberies are up 3%. Now, some people have suggested that statistics are inaccurate and do not reflect the true reality of crime in this country. However, Police Commissioner Ellison Greenslade fired back today, saying he's tired of being disrespected by his critics.
I do not like the disrespect that we get and the disrespect that the wider force gets. We don't deserve it from whomever gave it to us.
Leaders of the Free National Movement and Democratic National Alliance, as well as some members of the public, have questioned whether crime is really down, insisting that in the face of rising armed robberies, many Bahamians don't feel any safer.
And we're not getting all of the statistics. I will tell you, the police is reluctant to give all of the statistics simply because it is so bad out there.
The facts are the facts that we give to you. I'm never going to enter another arena and offer an opinion on something that I know nothing about. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a police officer. That is what I do.
Asked whether he feels this issue has become too political, Greenslade said he refuses to be drawn into the crime debate.
It's not good for people to second-guess the commissioner. I have the facts. I'm not given to lying, and I'm not prepared to challenge anyone in authority over me. I'm not going to start now being disrespectful to anyone in authority over me. What I will tell you is, there are days when I'm very, very disappointed in some comments that I hear from various sectors of the community.
The commissioner was speaking at a news conference held at police headquarters to present crimes reported between January 1st and April 15th of this year. Statistics show there are 28 murders on record so far for 2013. By April 15th, 2012, 38 murders were committed. Armed robberies are also a huge concern, particularly with the recent shooting of a senior police officer. Statistics show 338 armed robberies have been reported so far this year. That's up from the 328 armed robberies committed this time last year. Despite this challenge, the police chief says officers are doing good work on the front lines and it's paying off.
Serious crime is continuing to trend downward in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And we're seeing also in New Providence, where there's much of the activity, likewise a downward trend. It's as a result of the hard work of police officers all across his organization.
The Commissioner of Police says he knows what he has to do when he's no longer capable of doing his job. Reporting for NB12, I'm Vonique Toot.
Well, nearly 1 week since the shooting of Superintendent Clayton Fernander outside his home, the two men police believe are responsible for the shooting appeared before Chief Magistrate Roger Gomez on those charges. 23-year-old Maurice Ambrister of Faith Gardens, seen in the blue shirt, and 21-year-old Excel Josie of Balls Alley were today charged with the attempted murder and attempted armed robbery of Fernander. Initial police reports say Fernander, officer in charge of the Southeastern Division, was shot multiple times when he arrived at his St. Vincent Road residence shortly before 10 p.m. last Wednesday. Ambrister is further charged with possession of an unlicensed silver and black Wesson .45 pistol and 29 bullets. The men were not required to enter a plea to the attempted murder and attempted armed robbery charges. Ambrister pleaded not guilty to the firearm-related charges. The pair was represented by attorney Roberto Reckley, who told the court that both men say they were beaten while in police custody, received threats of death, and were at times denied access to their attorney. Reckley requested that both Ambrister and Josie be seen by a doctor. Gomez ordered that both men be seen by a doctor. Bail was denied and the matter will proceed by way of a voluntary bill of indictment. The pair has been remanded to Her Majesty's Prison and will return to court June 5th. Meantime, Superintendent Fernander is said to be recovering and could even return home by this weekend. Commissioner Greenslade says he's spoken with him several times since he was airlifted to a Florida hospital on Friday.
He is strong. Each day he is getting stronger. He is conscious of the fact that he has a long way to go. No amputations have taken place. We are hoping and praying that none will take place. Doctors here in New Providence did an extremely good job in sewing together those fingers and that palm and trying to keep it together with bandages.
Police expect to hear from Fernander again on Thursday. Greenslade says he has agreed to speak with reporters about his experience upon his return to the Bahamas. The commissioner also dismissed reports that the senior officer was targeted or that he tried to pull a weapon on his alleged shooters, but his gun jammed. Greenslade warned that police officers' weapons do not jam. Well, in the face of criticism by the opposition over the government's mortgage relief plan and response to the web shop conservatory order being lifted last week, Prime Minister Perry Christie spoke out defending his administration's policies. Celeste Nixon has more in this report.
Reiterating that it's not his place to tell police what to do, Prime Minister Christie hit out at the opposition, describing their stance on web shops as nonsense. Over the weekend, F&M leader Dr. Hubert Minnis expressed displeasure that neither the police nor the government has taken action to shut down web gaming operations after Chief Justice Sir Michael Barnett lifted the injunction preventing them from interference by authorities.
Tell them stop from talking nonsense, okay? Read the judgment of the Chief Justice. I don't know if they've appealed yet on this matter, all right? But that the government, all right? The government, the Prime Minister, doesn't get involved in enforcing it. The police know what their job must be, right? It is for the police to do what they have to do and interpret the judgment as they have to interpret it. And if they need advice, they get the advice from the Attorney General. And so, but it's not Perry Christie closing it down. If they see wrong, if they know wrong, if they apprehend wrong, they know what their job is. And I can't insinuate myself in saying, go and arrest this one and arrest that one. They are police officers. The police officers are a well-trained, well-led organization. And, you know, this whole thing about the leader of the opposition, you know what he can do. You know, then have a swing.
Christie said it is up to the police to enforce the laws. Admitting today he was disappointed with the mortgage relief plan, Prime Minister Christie said his government is committed to restructuring the program and assisting as many Bahamians as possible.
Yes, I am disappointed. We've had a lot of preparation leading into this. Banks have sort of made adjustments themselves to try to keep their clientele by giving greater allowances to people who are in default. And so I think the program has been a catalyst for things happening in the private sector. But with respect to the program itself, I had anticipated myself that the 300-400 who are qualified for assistance would have received it from us.
Christie said he is personally going to get involved in the program and will be consulting with banks on how to improve the initiative. Yesterday, F&M said they were not surprised by what they described as the mortgage relief plan's failure. Former Bahamas Mortgage Corporation Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands told the Nassau Guardian the plan only assisted PLP election campaigners. While Christie said his government still faces many challenges, he stood by what has been accomplished since coming to office 11 months ago.
With respect to everything that I have said, okay, I'm very satisfied. And I think those who are in public life, who take risks at doubting my word, right, will soon find out. We're taking all these schools that the Catholics have given up, and we're creating, we're going to create in Our Lady's Church a special school for special children. There are so many things we're doing that people might not say doesn't have the glamour and the panache and all that sort of stuff, but it's good work being done, progressing the country.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Celeste Nixon.
Commissioner Greenslade also responded to critics who have slammed the Royal Bahamas Police Force for failing to shut down illegal numbers businesses following the Chief Justice's recent ruling. Greenslade made it clear that police will take action when they're good and ready, adding that anything else is an insult to their intelligence.
Whatever that business is, the commissioner has no right to turn up and shut a door. There's no law that gives me that right. However, whatever that business is, if that person allows an illegal activity to take place on his or her premises, I have a right in law to do something about it. But here is my position. No one has a right to tell me what date and what time and who and how. It cannot happen. It cannot happen. For fear that one might say, why don't you just go and arrest 182? Because I have some general information, and that can't happen. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, that's an insult to our intelligence.
Greenslade also said that police officials have to be careful, insisting that he knows where to take his instructions from.
The only thing that can hold my feet to the fire is the law. The commissioner is bound to the law. I will not take instructions from anyone but the law. It's as simple as that. I'm not wishy-washy. Doesn't happen like that. And that's just a general comment to anyone. I'm not, listen again, I'm not going to be disrespectful to anyone in authority over me. I've asked my officers to follow my lead. I'm not going to respond and offer opinions in an arena where I'm not allowed to. That would be disrespectful.
Coming up, College of the Bahamas students surprised and outraged at fee hikes.